what's your general take about the House and the bipartisan push to give United States government spying power? Because I've seen the corporate media, and there's the messaging come from Mike Johnson, Biden, Congress, and the media. They said it's a national security threat if our government don't have the right to spy on us. So I'll toss that to you, Misty Winston, as I try to put a segment together.
I mean, holy fucking balls, y'all. I mean, this is the stuff that we've been trying to talk about in regards to the surveillance state and the lack of privacy and the censorship and all of that stuff. And it's just amplifying. And it's so frustrating because the Snowden releases were, over a decade ago, and nothing happened from that. Nobody seems to care. They're continuing to spy on us. Now it's like they're voting away your rights. Literally, they're voting away. It's like the George Carlin skit. They're not rights if they can be voted away. That's exactly what we're experiencing here. And it's insane. It's insane to watch this play out. But Thomas Massey has a really great thread up. He's awesome on this.
Let's see if I can find it.
I disagree. I have it pulled up, but I disagree with him on a whole host of things, obviously. The Massey one?
Yeah, if you have the link, I could find it too. Because I didn't see what Massey said. I'm actually interested.
He has a great thread. So he really he's great at this.
See?
He's really good. Listen, again, I disagree with Thomas Massey on a whole host of things. I like him though. I at least think he is a genuine actor in terms of politicians, as much as you can be. Not that I trust him or.
He's someone I can form a coalition with on certain issues.
Yes.
You guys
that's what I'm always looking for.
That is the absolute best thing I can ever say about someone who's a capitalist. You guys realize that?
Yeah. We agree on a lot of shit. Like there is a lot of really important shit that we agree on. And I would much rather focus on that than.
Yeah, I'm a coalition builder. So the best thing I can say about someone, if I'm like, I can form a coalition with you.
Yeah.
Just take that. That's the best. That's the best you guys are gonna get from me when it comes to praising the kind of people. I think that's enough. Like when it comes to Thomas Massey, when it comes to Julian Assange, when it comes to civil liberties. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe he spoke up on Ukraine as well. And generally wars. I can form coalition with those people, but it starts and ends that coalition. I think that's my mindset. I reject the bullshit mindset from what I call the CIA left, the infiltrated left, that they just don't believe in coalition building. They believe in if you're not able to perfectly recite every 42 gender that we made up, we're gonna cancel you. That's what they believe. If you're not able to purposely recite every single litmus test on social issues that we have, we can't organize with you because you're a fascist. Guys, I don't believe in that. And I unapologetically don't believe in that. I reject liberalism. I believe in coalition building. Most people don't believe in a lot of the radical shit I believe. Like most people not actually I gotta be careful how I phrase this because that's actually not true. Because a lot of people do want to dismantle the system, but they're not. I'm very far left. If I was to have a mindset where I cancel everyone who don't believe and everything I say down the line, I'm organizing with no one. I think that's probably the best way to say it.
Yeah.
If I would organize with no one if they agree with me on everything.
And I may even disagree with why you want to get to a certain thing. Like we may disagree on that, but if the end game is still the same, I'm selfish. I'd like to get some shit done. Yeah. So I don't care.
If I can trick these dumb motherfuckers into supporting some revolutionary shit, I'm all down. For example, you got right wingers that talking about collectively bargaining, collective organizing with workers, not realizing that's a socialist tactic. I'm like, all right, bet. I don't care if you call it socialism or not. If you guys down with class warfare, collective bargaining, which is a socialist tactic. Cope, guys. That's a tactic that was invented by Marxism, advanced by Marxism. That American working class like, damn, that's a good idea. There's no collective bargaining before that. But anyway, here's one of the tweets from Thomas Massey. I see you send me a private chat. Is this it?
This is one of them. Like he's really good at like breaking things down and explaining things in a really easy to digest way.
Misty, you good at fast reading. Do you want to read a little bit? Do you want to do that?
I can, sure. Okay, so let me go back up here on my own computer. Okay, so many people have been This is from the 10th. So this is from 3 days ago. This is right before the vote. So many people have been misled today. There was not a vote on the FISA bill. There was a vote on a resolution that would have allowed FISA as well as 6 amendments to it, including a warrant requirement amendment and 3 other pieces of legislation legislation to come to the floor. It continues, on partisan procedural votes like this, Democrats reflexively vote no and Republicans typically vote yes. 19 Republicans voted with all the Democrats to stop everything from coming to the floor today, including the Warrant Amendment to FISA. Many of us who are adamantly opposed to warrantless surveillance voted for the resolution, wanting to get a recorded vote on warrants and recognizing the speaker can otherwise suspend the rules and bring anything to the floor without a resolution like he did with the omnibus. Tactically, whether the 19 did the best thing or not is to be determined. They may have just stopped our only chance to have a vote on whether the government needs a warrant to spy on you. That vote might not have passed, but everyone would have had to go on the record for the world to see. That's, to me, the key point. So what we had was a difference of tactics with members like Jim Jordan, Marjorie Taylor Greene, Ward Davidson, myself, and other defenders of the Constitution, parting ways with those who saw an opportunity to temporarily throw a wrench in things by voting with Nancy Pelosi and Adam Schiff. Now that the rules resolution for the bill plus amendments has failed, the swamp could 1, suspend the rules to pass a worse FISA, 2, make concessions and improve the rules for the bill, 3, say they don't need a new bill to keep FISA going, or 4, let the Senate move first on FISA. He then includes a little video of his speech, which it's a good speech. He talks a lot about, we can talk about the reason why FISA is so fucked and the numerous ways in which it's abused. But I also think this first comment here at the bottom was it like really summarize it. This guy said, so if I understand correctly, tactic 1, introduce the rules, vote on amendments and warrant requirements. Even if it fails, we can see the traitors to the Constitution. And tactic 2 was reject the rules, temporarily fail to reauthorize FISA, can then hope that future FISA bill includes concessions and warrant requirements. So those were that was the divide in the Republican Party and the way that they approached this. So some of them wanted to get that vote on record. I think that would have been the ideal situation. And then tactic 2 was to reject the rule, hope that they can then any future FISA bill will include the things that they're fighting for. That's not a guarantee though. And in fact, it's highly unlikely. They really want this stuff. They really want to be able to spy on you.
You guys
legally.
know how crazy it is?
Yeah.
That Republicans, Trump supporters are supporting giving the Biden administration the ability to spy on them. Spy on the. I thought you guys was worried about FISA. You guys see that flip? Mike Johnson used to care about this.
Yeah.
But you guys have to understand what's going on. You have Republicans that is teaming up to give the Biden administration unchecked, unregulated power. This is an increase of their power. Tell me more about how they oppose each other in this two-party duopoly. Now look at this, because this is a giant push by Joe Biden. Mike Johnson went like this with Joe Biden. This is, if I was a Republican, if I was someone who cared, this is what I would be hammering this motherfucker with. That's not my sphere. I don't care about this. But if I was like an enemy of Mike Johnson, now I was a Republican, Mike Johnson teamed up with Joe Biden. How is that not an attack ad everywhere? You know what I mean? Just thinking out from the outside.
I've seen a little bit of that. I've seen a little bit of the right.
Now think about it. Now it's probably coming. That's not my thing. But that's what happened. Look at this tweet. I found one of the things I saved. I'm glad. I appreciate your help. You're probably the best guest I could have on for this malfunction today, because we actually did. We actually got everything going pretty well. I was able to find this. I had this saved. Here's Edward Snowden, who's been all over this.
Of course.
Covering this as a citizen journalist. Edward Snowden says the White House is calling the Fourth Amendment of the Constitution a threat to national security.
This is not the first time they've done this. This is not the first time that they've done this. This is where I'm going to get fired up, because this is the shit we have been screaming about. This is it. This is the shit. Here it is. This is, it's so frustrating. It is so frustrating. This is exactly what they have. This is the intention. They want to have full control over information. They want to be able to control everything you see, hear, think, read, know, question, talk about. And that's what this shit is intended for. And so now they're literally calling you a national security threat. Your constitutional rights.
Yeah, because
are a national security threat.
You know how unhinged the national security intelligence community is when they didn't want a warrant. That was this whole fight was about. I have watched a few corporate media segments that I don't need to show. It just wastes a lot of time, where they were pretty much arguing that requiring them to get a warrant is a national security risk. That doesn't
even how crazy that is.
That doesn't even make sense. That stuff they argue with a straight face to our people, and people accept it.
People are fighting for it. Like, they're like, yeah, we need to be able to spy on people. to keep us safe.
And I've seen a few corporate media statements. I'm not just for the sake of time. I'm not gonna show them. If you guys care, check them out. Where they legitimately shot titles two together. They say, well, if we are not able to spy on Americans without a warrant, how are we gonna stop Ukraine? And then they will never explain their thought process there. I mean, how are we gonna stop Russia? I mean, they're like, well, we don't spend the ability to spy on Americans. How are we gonna stop China? What did they come out with? Spy? They're not even trying.
No.
And this is like another characteristic of fascist regimes.
Yeah,
their explanations for shit become cartoonish because they don't have to be they don't have to convince people. When you have late stage capitalist fascist regimes, late stage empires, they become cartoonish in their messaging because they realize they have such authoritarian power that democracy
they don't have to explain.
Yeah. So that's
they
why
don't have to explain.
Yeah,
Fuck
Misty,
you. This
you
is
see
what we're
I'm
doing.
saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, so there are a lot of like institutionalist types. Like Ryan Grimm has been very triggered at like the Biden administration and their press conferences. Ryan Grimm and a lot of these people going through some things right now where they're like, I can't believe that they would say something so absurd. And Ryan Grimm, they've been doing decent jobs calling them like they're so absurd. I can't believe John Kirby would say something so crazy. Are they insulting our intelligence? Guys, don't you know this is the end game of every fascist empire is insulting our intelligence? We are at that point, and you voted for him.
Yes.
I'm glad you guys
people.
Go ahead, Misty.
The likes of Ryan Grimm used to mock people for calling them out and used to pretend as, oh, you're a contrarian. You're like, you're just so dumb. You have no idea what's going on. Like trying to compare him to Trump. They're the same, y'all. And what makes me, we bitched about Biden. Let's bitch about Trump because Trump's out here like FISA needs to die. It was used illegally to spy on me. Motherfucker, you used it when you were president. Not only that, you were the guy that ordered the spying operation against a journalist and publisher in Julian Assange at the Ecuadorian embassy, including conversations with his legal team so that you could figure out a way to indict him. So like the hypocrisy of both of these douche canoe teams pretending as if they don't serve the same agenda and both wouldn't love to have this as a power that they can use against each other in show, but really to use against us. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like that's what this is all about. This has nothing to do with Russia or China. They want to use it against you. That's what they want.
Absolutely. And whenever you see the uniparty unite in the way like this, cooked.
Bad.
It's all bad.
Yeah.
The media loves it. There's nothing institutions love more than seeing Democrats and Republicans team up together to take your fucking rights away. And we're in such a position. This is why I rejected all like former liberal thought, because people are going through some things right now.
Yeah.
Well, I'm like, I don't even like doing the caveats no more. Because you guys know I don't like Matt Gaetz. I'm gonna do it, even I'll just say it. I feel like I don't have to do that no more because I believe in coalition building. When I talk about Tucker Carlson and why I think it's good that he
I don't have to like somebody for them to say something that's true. Like just because truth is the truth, no matter who speaks it. I don't care who it is.
The point being is things are so weird that we have to do stuff like this every once in a while. We gotta show people like Matt Gaetz telling the truth. And that's why people like Ryan Grimm, like I said earlier, they're going through some things right now. Like Ryan Grimm, my personal opinion, I don't think he's gonna change. And Misty, you can put back on me if you want on this, but like Ryan has been fucking like angry, like in a way I never seen him before. Like Ryan Grimm, I seen tweets from him. I'm like, damn, God, that
he makes me mad. He makes me mad. I mean? No, but I think honestly, he genuinely could be great. Like I think he has, he's done some great work journalistically. Like I think he could be a cool dude, but he has definitely not chosen that path. He has chosen to be part of the club.
The point I'm making, because I'm being careful here, guys. The point I'm making is Ryan Grimm was a milquetoast tool of the establishment, but he's going through some things right now.
Yes.
And now is where you can flip a coin. I don't think he's going to reach I think he's going to continue the same thing. That's my personal opinion. But there are going to be a lot of these social democrats. I know this because I got to say objectively.
Anna Katsarian.
Yeah.
Didn't she go through some crazy...
she was like, I'm done voting for Joe Biden. Yeah. So objectively, guys, their analysis on some things been good. But I don't think will they change? Will they break out? I don't know. Politics is just that crazy. And I'm not bullshitting with you guys. I see, like Ryan Grimm has been fucking furious on the timeline in a way I've never seen before. And the reason why I'm isolating him, because I'm using him as an example of a milquetoast social democrat. And I'm seeing anger from these milquetoast social democrats in ways I had never seen before. You know what I mean? Like kind of. Anyway, maybe I'm giving him too much credit. Maybe that's true too. Because
he blocked me again. What the fuck?
Why they always block Misty? They fucking hate Misty.
He blocked me one time.
Ryan Grimm.
Yes, Bree did too. But legit, Ryan Grimm once blocked me, talked shit about me on his timeline, and then unblocked me. Yeah. And then I was unblocked for a while, and I just went to check. I don't know when this happened, but I am now blocked again by Ryan Grimm. So there you have it. I'm not sure what I did or said.
I'm gonna just look at general reactions because I've since my notepad is broken. Here's Vivek. See, once again, everyone who's wrong this issue, like I'm not even gonna do the caveats. I'm just forming coalitions. If you run this issue, I'm gonna praise you on this issue, just period. Because Vivek is annoying as fuck to me. But let's just read his take. Vivek says, "Shame on Republicans who publicly rail against weaponization of government, then quietly vote to reauthorize FISA 702, which enables the weaponization of government. Pathetically, they did it on a Friday afternoon to bury it in a news cycle. Mark my words, they'll do the same exact thing with the next round of Ukraine funding too." Another thing that Vivek said recently that I like, even though I hate Vivek, when he was talking about the Ukraine aid, he had a video where he was like, if before you guys pass any Ukraine aid, I need you guys to explain what the next $100 million is going to accomplish what the last $100 million. So he has been aggressive on pushing those fronts. I wish Vivek would shut the fuck up and focus only on those two fronts, because when you talk about literally anything else, he's annoying as hell. But I give him, I didn't have the tweet up. Sorry, I did not realize that. Sorry, this is the tweet I was reading. I just realized I didn't have it up. But the right wing, the faux right wing populists, the people who are actually upset about the abuses of FISA, they're having a field day with this.
Yes. I kind of love when stuff like this happens, though, because it really does unmask the hypocrites. Like, it's the same thing with free speech. Anytime somebody gets censored or whatever, and it's somebody that but right now, pro-Palestinian protesters are getting censored on campuses all across the country, and the free speech right is nowhere. They're nowhere. They got nothing to say about that, and that I kind of like when that happens, because listen, I like people who are consistent on principle. Yeah. Not saying I'm perfect. We try, but I try to be consistent all the time, especially on stuff like that. And I like when the hypocrites expose themselves, because it lets me know who my legitimate allies are on those fronts.
So maybe we should I'll just toss the notebook out in general when I have Misty on. I'm actually going through some of these reactions because I haven't seen a lot of these. So we're going through this live. I haven't seen this, but I have thoughts just reading this. So. For example, Trump criticizes FISA with Mike Johnson. So I know this press conference. So Mike Johnson had his press conference with Trump, where essentially they came out as a couple. Essentially, they was talking about how much they love each other, right? Mike Johnson got the FISA extension done. You guys see, this is the Trump bullshit. I don't understand why people don't call Trump out for this. He say, "Oh, I'm for this issue," but he supports someone who has the exact opposite take that he does. Oh, Trump! I'm Donald Trump. I'm against wars, but I'm gonna hire Mike Bolton, John Bolton, and Mike Pompeo. I said Mike Bolton. That would be.
They're all the same. They're all the same.
Hilarious. I didn't mean to do that.
They're all the same. Doesn't matter. They're all just psychopaths. I like to call Bolton the Death Walrus. That's my name for him.
John Pompeo. Can you imagine?
John Pompeo.
Like if they had if one had a daughter, one had a son, and then they had kids.
Oh God,
their grandchildren, their grandson.
That's what happens, though. It's very incestuous. That whole crew. They're all just breeding with each other. They're all friends. They all go to the same dinner parties.
Yeah, that's very possible. What I'm talking about. That's fucking hilarious to me. Like the third generation Bolton. You got Mike Bolton, bro. That motherfucker is gonna be a threat. Anyway, let's move on. Let's watch the video. We're just having fun now. We can wrap up here soon. Let me know how you're doing on time, Misty.
I'm fine.
We're not gonna go too much longer. We kind of just shooting the shit now.
Which one? Well, I'm not a big fan of FISA. I looked at it and I studied it, and I know it probably better than anybody. You know, they spied on my campaign. You do know that, right? And they did lots of other bad things. I'm not a big.
If you don't know why we're laughing, Trump expanded FISA, my friend. Anyway, let's move on. And I'll let
this fucking guy. I mean, it's amazing. I know a lot about FISA. I know more than anybody. I know more than anybody. Oh, this fucking guy. He's hilarious.
Bro,
you got to give him that. He's hilarious.
He's hilarious, but MAGA people, MAGA communists, confuse the shit out of me, bro. I said from day one, bro, I will never understand what people see in this guy. Like, just listening to him, I don't get it, bro. But anyway, let's move on.
And he didn't do anything for you. Oh, so
I don't
frustrating.
get it, bro.
So frustrating.
I had my tweet that
I could go on a whole rant just about that.
Oh, actually, I'm gonna do a statement on that. This tweet I did actually. You know his stop at Chick-fil-A. Actually, let's do that. I'm gonna do that later because I actually want to make a point because the celebrity worship. I had a.
Yes.
I'm gonna show you if I can find that. I'm gonna play the video. I'm gonna look for it and chime in after the video is done so I can find it. Give me some time. So I'm gonna play the video all the way through, and then Misty, I want you to.
I'll rant for a little bit.
Which one? Well, I'm not a big fan of FISA. I looked at it and I studied it, and I know it probably better than anybody. You know, they spied on my campaign. You do know that, right? And they did lots of other bad things. I'm not a big fan of FISA, but I told everybody, I said, do what you want. They put a lot of checks and balances on, and I guess it's down to 2 years now, so that it would come due in the early part of my administration on the basis that we live up to the polls, because all the polls, we just had another one come out, we're leading by a lot, but it comes out quickly. I said, you do what you want, but I'm not a big fan of FISA. I think it's terrible. Yeah, Bob?
I think it's terrible.
Dude, the nerve of this man to say, you know, they spied on my campaign. I'm not a fan of that. Again, this guy expanded FISA, used FISA as president to spy on people that were his enemies, including, again, Julian Assange and his legal team, his doctors. But he's not a fan of being spied on. The hypocrisy of this twat on full display. And again, MAGA supporters listen, I personally don't have an issue with MAGA supporters. I don't understand your thing, but I'm not like gonna,
guys, my caveat on that point, Misty, my caveat is I'm mostly talking shit at the influencers.
Yeah.
And the people, like, the caveat, I know most people don't know this, but my caveats always are.
No beef.
Yeah, I got a lot of, I give a lot of grace to people who are brainwashed. I know a lot of people don't know that, but when I'm talking shit, I'm talking about
people that know better.
Yeah, go ahead, Misty.
Yeah, but it is about people that know better. That's a great clarification, because like the average, like I live in small town Ohio. I am surrounded by Trump supporters, and they're not bad people. Like they've been propagandized to be mad at the wrong things and the wrong people, but they're not bad people. And they're not unreachable either, which is a frustrating thing that people think that we should just dismiss them entirely. It's absurd. We agree on a lot of things. But yeah, this idea that that Trump is some savior for the people, or that he cares about you, it's very confusing to me why anybody thinks that. And not only has his entire life been the opposite of that, but his presidency, he did nothing for you. And the idea that they still go to bat for him, like I bring it back to Assange because obviously that's what I do. So it's what I have the most experience with. But I'll tweet about the idea that it was Trump that had him arrested, Trump that spied on him, Trump that plotted to assassinate him, and Trump supporters' brains malfunction. And they get mad at me and they throw a temper tantrum. I had one in my mentions the other day when I said that it was under Trump that he was arrested. And the guy was like, no, it's not. He got blah, 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 like threw a full on tantrum. And I'm like, my guy, just go look what the date that Julian Assange was arrested and tell me who was president at that time. And then they freak out. And then usually they just block me. And it's like, it's that hero worship thing. And that's why I don't like the labels and all of that stuff, because I feel like it makes people's critical thinking skills turn off, and they just become married to a person or an ideology or whatever, and then they stop thinking outside of that. And it is so frustrating, and it is pervasive.